Hello ladies and gents, it's Spoony Pizzas here with another Pro Evolution Soccer 2019 video, and as you can tell today has been a very busy day for me, trying to keep up on top of all this PES content whilst also entertaining my family for a barbecue. So I do apologise that I may be a little bit behind everyone else, but don't worry, I'm going to bring out tons of content as you're going to see here today. So let's get straight into this. Okay, so we had before the gameplay, we had some someone from Konami talking about the game and all the improvements. So I'm just going to run through the key points. So current gen only, so that's PS4, Xbox One, Xbox One X, PC. I'm pretty sure we knew that anyway from their website. There's an early release date, so they're promoting that it's 4 weeks earlier than FIFA that's going to be released. So it's going to be an August release that we knew anyway, but they're just sort of reiterating that. Coutinho is the global ambassador. Beckham, they've managed to do a full 3D scan and also have exclusive rights to his Adidas boots. Obviously, there's the leagues they sort of mentioned again, which we all know about, I'm sure. There's more than 40 stadiums going to be in PES 2019, which is very good. The football is called the Fuerza football. That's Fuerza, for those that might be able to pronounce it a little better than me. Azim actually came up with the ball name apparently, so he mentioned that on the stream, which is great. There's also some new ball physics, apparently. So, I mean, there had to be really, because the way the rising and dipping shot, which I'll cover off in a minute. So that's good to see, and obviously when I break down the gameplay, you're going to see that as well. Anyway, visible fatigue. So they mentioned this, so you can't just hold the run button down for 90 minutes because now this is interesting because it could lead to an injury. Now I didn't know that from the details that I received in the past. So it could lead to injury, which is good. So pulled hamstrings obviously is one of the main ones. Obviously cramp, and that can be really interesting because you could be like chasing down a striker, and all of a sudden, because you've been running like all over the pitch with this one guy, that you might pull your hamstring or you might pull up, and he's just like left through on goal 1-on-1. So that's going to be really interesting to see how that works. There's quick subs, so for tired players, it will sort of pop up with the recommendation of players that you want to bring on, but you can actually sort through these and find the player that you want to actually use. So that's pretty good as well. I like the idea of that. It's going to tell you which players are tired at in an instance, which is really good, because sometimes you sort of lose track of the time. You're not sure what time it is, and you go, oh no, it's the 80th minute. You thought, well, I should have made subs in the 70th, 75th, but now it's going to, you're going to get that indicator to say, look, your players are tiring. What do you want to do about it? Especially if you use Gegenpress, where players are tiring around the 60th minute. That's going to be very interesting. They also touched on first touch impact. They didn't really cover this a lot, but in the gameplay footage, you can definitely see that. So I'll be touching on that during the gameplay. Rework dribbling, yes, I definitely noticed this in the gameplay, which again I'll be touching on. In the gameplay clip, obviously there's a new shooting mechanic which has been completely reworked, so now there's dipping and rising shots, which I mentioned previously, one of the previous videos. As it's current gen only, some of the plus features for that is 4K dynamic resolution, and they're also using Enlighten, which you can definitely see in the again in the gameplay footage that we've received. So you can see it's a lot brighter, which is great. There's real-time lighting, so there's dynamic lighting. So during the course of a match, you might see the sun go overhead, so the shadows will move during the course of a game, which is one of the questions one of my subscribers asked. So that's good to see. There's an addition of snow as well. Apparently this looks great at night, apparently, but it's going to look great anyway. It's a nice feature to have, and that's going to obviously have an impact on the ball physics, and it's going to impact the gameplay. So that's really good as well. So overall, pretty impressed. There was a very short clip of the transfer window. I couldn't really notice many differences, but they do say there's improved transfers. Obviously, there's the International Champions Cup. I think I've got that right, which is a pre-season tournament, which is exclusive to PES. And there's also a PC Steam demo, which is great. They didn't announce how early it would be released, whether it's going to be release day or whether it's going to be a week or two before. So we'll just have to wait and see on that one. But that's great anyway. So that's all the key points I wanted to cover. And now we'll break down some gameplay. Okay, so the first match was between PES Legends and Argentina. You can see the snow there. And I like the fact that the ground isn't too dark. Sometimes when you played like an overcast game on PES 2018, some areas of the picture will be really dark. But as you can see, this is the Enlighten engine that you're going to be, well, not engine, but the Enlighten enhancements. And it looks absolutely magnificent. I love the snow. I think it looks really good. It's not overdone. Some games it's like coming down really thick and you can, you're trying to see the ball or there's white patches on the pitch. I don't want any of that. I want it to be, as you would see it in a real game of football. Unless obviously it's the lower tiers where they just tend to play on, literally don't even bother to clear it off. But, these are all top divisions, so they generally have undersoil heating, etc. to clear the snow. So you can see here pretty much the same layout and same way the players walked out onto the pitch and formed up and started clapping, etc. So not too big changes there. The overlay here that you can see with the two teams is slightly different. I think it looks a lot cleaner. It looks very nice, and it'd be interesting to. I would have liked to seen the tactics. You know me. So anyway, we're going to kick off now, and I'll be stopping the game in areas and pointing out things that you might have missed. Okay, early on, almost within the first 5 seconds, you can see here that it looks like it's really easy to lose the ball. There's a quite a big disconnect between the player and the ball. It's not like stuck to your feet. They're pushing the ball out quite a little way in front of them when running, especially when running. Probably more so than PES 2018. I'll have to go and have a look at 2018. But yeah, the passing looks okay. But there you go. That's what I mean. It's going to be, you can get quite a lot of battles in midfield, I think. Sort of reminds me of, is it PES 6? Might be PES 6. Sort of that sort of disconnect between the player and the ball, and it's easy to sort of win it back. So it's going to give your defenders a better chance to defend. There's a cross. Looks okay to clear. I noticed he didn't use much timing on that volley. Now in PES 2018, if you press the button too early, it did vary on the height. So here, he's pressed the shoot button quite early, but he's waited. The actual player waited this time to strike the ball at the optimum height. So maybe a little bit of hand holding there, but you can't say for sure because until you get hands on the game. Corners are much the same as last year. No real change there. I noticed that through ball is very, very effective, but again, it's hard to tell when you're playing against co-op because it looked like the defender just sort of tried to step out. I don't know what he was doing, to be honest. You think these people would played the game for a while, but I don't know. They didn't seem to have much chemistry. They're pretty dreadful. It was a bit amateurish, to be honest, but maybe the game's a lot harder to play. I don't know, obviously. But like I said, the main thing for me so far is that I think the defender's got to be a lot easier. See, even there, your players are running into each other. I wasn't sure if I'd have to rewind that back, but I don't know if that was the AI player cutting across, because that would be annoying if it was. because the last thing you want is the AI. I'm just watching that AI player just the way he sprint back. This one here, he's ridiculously quick. That was really. If you rewind that back, you watch that player that won the ball. Then when I said about the AI player, you watch how fast he runs back to get that ball. It's just a foul. Replays look much the same. I think it's hard to tell because the quality wasn't great on these gameplay footages. But I don't think there's any. I still think there's motion blur, but I'm not 100% sure whether they removed it or not, or whether it's an option to remove. Because on the PC they had no motion blur for replays or cutscenes, but on the PS4 they did. Okay, so second half, no goals. There's no goals in this game, unfortunately. But it's just good to sort of see the overall build-up and how the passing works, the power of the passes they're using. So you can see there, about 50% passing. I think it looks to be easier to actually misplace passes. I really wish they wouldn't zoom the gameplay out because it's very hard to see on the screen. But yeah, I think the passing isn't like pinball accuracy. I've not seen too many back heels either, but maybe that'll change depending. You know, everyone just seems this is like the most direct play you'll ever see. Pass it to the winger, just hoof it in. There's no sort of real technique to there. See there? That's what I was talking about by the they should have passed it through really, or cut inside. There's no there's no real chemistry between these players. But you can see there it's a lot easier to intercept and win the ball back. Look at that defender. What's he? Look at the gap. My word. That blue guy was way out of position. Oh my days. Honestly, oh, just through ball. Oh my god, through ball to the green guy. It would have been a goal. He's offside, surely. Well, he looked offside. It's Maradona. Easily tackled. So I tell you what, I think dribbling is going to be a lot harder, which I'm happy about. I like my dribbling, but it did seem a little bit overpowered in some instances. Might have to just change my gameplay. I would say it's more like a sim. Look at that. Look how hard it is to battle through players now. That's going to be very interesting. That's better. That's what you should have done. Pass it. Pass back. Oh, he's offside now. That's just selfish. He could have put a through ball then. As soon as he cut inside, that player was wide open in that little gap. Should have played a through ball. There's me getting ahead of myself. Yeah, goal kicks, pretty much the same. So, yeah, I mean, they didn't have to change a lot, really, did they, to PES 2018, because it was a winning formula. But this looks really good. I have to say, I'm really, really impressed. The way the passing's harder, the greater disconnect between the player and the ball means it's easier to lose the ball. It's got a very similar feeling to PES 6 around it, I think, anyway. Yeah, thanks for dropping me a message saying first on one of my videos. But yeah, obviously this bit's the same with the co-op. You have the ratings and tells you how well you're doing in certain areas, whether your passing's okay, your dribbling's okay. So if you look at using him before, he's a really good dribbler and his shooting's on fire. So we'll just skip this guy. Okay, so this is the second game between Azim and the Midnight Kid. Recommend checking his YouTube channel out. He's very good. He's a good laugh, and he's Irish. He might need subtitles. Nah, I'm just joking. He's a really sound guy. And anyway, so it's between Barcelona and Liverpool. As in chose the easy option of playing as Barcelona. Sure, he should have had a a weekend side, because I'm sure he's had plenty of practice. But yeah, I mean, this is pretty much the same, isn't it? This is exactly the same as PES 2018. But one of the big things I did notice in this is look at the brightness there. You can see the enlighten working right now, and that dynamic resolution. So that looks absolutely glorious. It's really going to brighten up, especially if you've got a HD TV and 4K 4K TV with HDR. It's definitely going to be looking good. So I'm gonna have to upgrade my my bedroom TV if my wife lets me. So yeah, so in this game, I'll just commentate as it plays out. I have to say the skill between these two players is much better and a bit more organised, and I'll be able to pick out some things that you may have missed. So that right there was brilliant. The way he was able to get across and head that away in PES 2018, that would have been a goal. The striker was ahead of the defender, but I hope it's not too overpowering. The defensive, but defensively, I think it's going to make it a lot harder to score, especially from crosses. And you know, some people say that the crossing is a bit overpowering, and it is really frustrating to watch people just run down the wing and cross and score. But there's the first goal, ladies and gents, and you can really see the enlighten. Watch this. There, look at that. The shadows look absolutely fantastic, and obviously this isn't the greatest recording quality that they gave us, but you can see it looks absolutely brilliant. The amount of detail on the shirt, the light in there, look at that really does stand out. Suarez waving his arm away so he comes celebrating me. Absolutely opened the Midnight Kid up in the defensive area. Should have went backwards, really. That gap was absolutely massive. He should have closed it off. Should have maybe ran back with Virgil van Dijk and pressed with the second defender, and just try to deal with it one on one. Not easy in that situation. His defensive line's way too high, in my opinion. See here, looks like he's using hug the touchline. Just trying to figure out what he's. Yeah, definitely hug the touchline, because his wingers are staying pretty wide, I would say. I don't know actually, because his right wing are not hugging the touchline. Maybe he's got. Yeah, they both got tactics on. One tactic on, so. Oh, that's nice. Oh dear. I think one of the things I have noticed, like from the Roberto Carlos volley in the previous video, or previous footage, and the volley there, is that the players seem to make the better choices. Sometimes they would do a diving header in PES 2018. Wow, look at that. Now you wouldn't get that normally. You wouldn't absolutely scar like that. So that's where the new shooting mechanics coming in, where he was off balance, and that's brilliant, because before it would be always going on target. You'd never hit it over the bar like that. Nowhere, no chance, absolutely no chance. So that's really good. And to be honest, one-time shots are actually harder in real life than when it's under control. So I always felt that with PES. PES, the first time shooting was ridiculously overpowered. Every shot was almost on target or on target. When in fact it would be really hard to pull that type of shot off with some of the players. In PES 2017, who was the best player? It was the left back. Oh, the guy from Liverpool. Is it Louis Alberto? Oh, doesn't sound like his name. I forgot his name. Alberto Moreno. That's it. Alberto Moreno. Yeah, his shooting from corners was ridiculous. So you cross it in. If the AI heads it out and it goes to the Alberto Moreno, um, he would take a shot and it would like always fly in the top corner or just go wide. It was absolutely ridiculous. And you're thinking, well, come on, let's have some. There's always left backs as well. Him and Aaron Creswell, ridiculously good. Oh, he's got. Oh, great save! Absolutely majestic. Oh my god, what happened there? What was he doing? What? How? I don't even know how that happened. Don't think they got manual shooting on. Maybe he did. Or maybe just tried to pull it back, I'm not sure. But you can see there, look at the through balls, yeah? How, how it's not so accurate as they used to be. It looks like you have to get the weight of the through ball down to be a lot better. And that's half time. So there's some very, very minor improvements. But they're very, very subtle improvements, but they are going to enhance the gameplay quite a lot, I think. All the areas where you wanted it to be strengthened, it looks like they've focused on those areas. Sort of reminds me of the a little bit of the PES beta, but that wasn't all that responsive, and this looks to be quite responsive. So it's like they've gone somewhere between the PES beta and PES 2018 gameplay, but with the added sort of disconnect between the player and the ball, which is great. I also noticed it takes probably a split second longer to control the ball. Not a split second, say about half a second longer to control the ball in PES 2018, which again is going to make for a very frantic play in the middle of the field. You see the way he took the touch there? Allowed Coutinho time to press the ball. So free kicks, corners, goal kicks, all the same. No changes there. Oh, there's a nice little fed ball there. The Midnight Kid was coming back into it. Good pressing. Yeah, it looks like he's playing a gegenpress. Either that or he's pushing on the player. He's calling across another player to close the ball down. There's the quick subs on the bottom right now. So you can see there, Paulinho's coming off, Dennis Suarez is coming on, and Mane's coming off for Oxlade-Chamberlain. So you've got the quick subs there. Bang, that's it, straight on. There's no messing. Keeps the game flowing nicely. Beautiful bit of skill. Oh, he should have dragged it back. Should have got closer. Could have walked in on goal. It was pretty open. And I think he was thinking of PES 2018 cheese. Oh, that is absolutely sublime. As in, take a bow. Oh dear. I love how the commentator's like, as in, say goal, dude. Goal. But the commentator's like, goal! Like, typical sort of Italian job. I don't think he's Italian, but funny. But nah, great goal. Great run from Coutinho and lovely little chip finish. Look at those nets as well. Check out that net. Hope he's gonna. Yeah, he does replay it. But you can see the net physics coming in play here. Looks really, really nice. Ah, beautiful. Much, much better. Nice celebration. Look at the Enlighten there. That looks absolutely fantastic. Oh man, I'm so hyped for this game. I just want to play a demo today. See, I think the headers are a lot harder to pull off as well, judging by that. I mean, for me, it's not the best header of the ball, but I think crosses and goals are going to be a little bit nerfed possibly, and they probably want to, you know, not encourage what was happening before. And you can sort of tell that from Azim's play now. They didn't just run down the wing and just cross it in. He actually passed it in field. He should have kept passing, to be honest, but you know, it's easier to say in hindsight. He had players over, players running through the middle. Oh, it's a lovely ball. And there we go again. Because the ball was rising, so forget what I said about earlier about the pressing the shoot button. You still got to time it, and here more evident than ever. He pressed the shoot button early, and look at that. It's just spun off his left foot. So it's the wrong foot, which is great because you try volleying with your weaker foot. It is quite hard. I'm actually pretty good at it in real life, but you know, it is a lot harder. So yeah, it's looking absolutely glorious, this game, I have to admit. Absolutely amazing. Oh, just wide. Unbelievable. So keeper's made some good saves in this match as well. When he sort of did that, when he sort of cut in earlier, made a good save. That's my technique. Oh no, he's misjudged it. Oh, he's got lucky there with the header. So that header seems a little bit more powerful than the PES 2018 headers. But you can see how much they got to keep the ball moving, because look, as soon as you get near someone, you're tackled. It's almost like you're playing against Legendary, but it's much better. It's much more realistic. Ah, look at that! Oh my gosh! Oh dear, the Midnight Kid. Hang your head in shame, dude. That was unlucky. That was unlucky. But lovely. I love the shooting. The shooting looks incredible. Oh my gosh. Give me this game tomorrow, guys. Looks absolutely amazing. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this video breakdown, guys. I was going to freeze frame it and all the rest of it, but to be honest, I'm really tired, and I think you know, it's pretty obvious what the key changes are in this game, and I think I've pointed them mostly out. If I see anything I'll have a watch tomorrow, and if I see anything I've missed, then I'll let you know. Anyway, thanks for watching the video, guys. Hope you enjoyed this sort of breakdown and sort of me talking you through it. If you'd like to see more of these for the PES 2019 content, let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you in my next video. Thanks a lot, guys. Good night and goodbye.